welcome back. So a couple of days ago I did a live and I started painting this one, and I wanted it to be all blue, so I'm going to keep going with the blue. I have my two water containers here so I can pick up clean water and also rinse off my brush. I've got my, what do you call it, paper towel here, and I have this here, what do you call it, pencils, pens, no they're not, they're watercolors. It's morning here. So I'm going with the blue theme. I'm going to keep going. I have 4 different blues in the palette. So I've got the cobalt, turquoise, light, and we have, what do we have here? I think it's moon glow. It is, it's moon glow, so I won't be using that one because it doesn't have that blue to it. Ultramarine, phthalo blue, and Prussian blue. So those are the colours that I am using for most of the painting. I want to try and keep it with the blues. I don't want to like introduce any green shades or anything like that. So I'm going to see how we go, because I think it might be a little bit hard to do that. Still get some contrast, still get some life into it, I guess. So I'm going to go in with phthalo over all of these. Now I've printed this out just on a very standard normal printer, but it's on watercolor paper. I have noticed if I don't use a huge amount of water, the ink doesn't run, which is good because that's what you want, it's watercolor. Other printers I have used, the ink has run. So I think it just depends on the type of ink that's in your printer. I've noticed if it is a dye-based ink, it doesn't seem to smudge or run as much. If it's black, if it's colored, then definitely, yeah, it does run. So I'm going to go over these later again with a different color. I'm just trying to get a layer down at the moment. And because it's all blue, I'm going to have to like define spaces and shades, or spaces and areas, or different designs with how I use like shadows and light. So we're just going to wait and see how that goes. Hello. Okay, so I've come to the point where I think all the blues are, I've gone as far as I can with all the blues. I keep thinking I should add an extra colour, but I had really wanted to keep it just blue this time. So in my other design, it's obviously quite different. So this is the same design, just in different colours. So I have a lot of yellows, a lot of greens, a lot of oranges, a lot of reds, a lot of purples. The purple's kind of like the base colour. This one I wanted to keep the blue, but I'm not sure if I should fill in the circle with yellow or orange, or whether I should go for a very light blue. You can see I kind of made a mistake here with the Prussian blue. It's a little bit hard to see on camera probably, but it's quite dark. It's a lovely blue, but because it's already against the ultramarine, it doesn't pop out, it doesn't stand out, so there's kind of no contrast or anything like that. I guess this kind of looks like a bit of a mass of blue in there. I can define that a little bit more, I think, later down the track. But comment if you have any ideas what I should do with the circle, whether I should put it in a different colour or whether I should just purely stick to the blue theme, maybe a watered down Prussian blue, which is kind of like in the middle of these cooler and warmer blues. I'm just not sure, so let me know and we'll see how we go. So you can see that I splashed some water when I was rinsing off my brush and it got onto the painting. So this brush I have here, it's called an eradicator brush. So basically it's an acrylic brush that has super short bristles. And if I've got the right paper, I can really scrub into the paper with this one. And I can hopefully, depending on the pigment too, I can hopefully remove the colour and it should go back to white or close to it. Got to use clean water though. Clean water is what works. This paper is actually, it's not 100% cotton. I know, it's terrible. Only because I was printing it out and I wanted to have just something I can play with and use as colouring in sheets. So it's not 100% cotton. And so I'm not able to get some of the results that I might be able to get normally if I have my regular 100% cotton paper. But yeah, I still don't know what to do with that. I don't know whether to fill that in with a different colour or not. So I'm going to need your help. But in the meantime, I have a couple more blocks that I can do. Just get them out. So these are just practice blocks for my regular block mounted miniatures. These ones did not work. The wood, it's lovely wood, it's a beautiful hardwood, but I used a different glue to what I normally use because excuse me, I was being experimental and it did not work. So as you can see, it's peeling and what have you. I don't like it. So I've just kept these for practice and just trying to clean them up. It doesn't work. There we go, but cutting towards my thumb is a recipe for disaster, isn't it? With the razor blade. Yeah, I won't do that. So I will try and paint a little bit with these, see how we go. Let me just see if I can put that in here a little better. Just organising the workspace a little more. There we go. I'll pop the light on. Might help a little. Hopefully there's a little more light. So yeah, if you're just back, I need help with this one. Do I colour in the circle to match like this kind of orange yellow, this warm yellow? I'm not sure. But I think it's quite cool how you can get such a massively different result just from the colours that you use. So it's the same design, the same like printable abstract that I drew with my very own hands, which was nice. I drew about 40 of these. I think I mentioned in the last video. I drew about 40 and I'm slowly kind of going through and printing them and making them into colouring, watercolour colouring sheets. Just because I like doing stuff like this, I find it very, very relaxing. I've got a couple of other designs that I'm working on at the moment. That one will go up on the website in the next couple of days. I'm still trying to figure out how to efficiently list things with my technological inability. That one was cool. Like again, the colours, having those cool colours and then those warm colours behind it. That's always very nice. This one I tried to mix it up with the colours a little bit, the greens and the reds and the blues, trying to stick to just 2 or 3 colours. But those are the colouring sheets. So at the moment I think the only ones available is this design and this design. The others will go up shortly. It's coming. I'm sorry, I'm not particularly onto it when it comes to listing things, but yeah, should this one be yellow? Should I? No, I'm not going to. I'm just going to go all blue. I have decided. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So the ultramarine for me is what pops out here. It's what looks really quite lovely. Because you can see it's very faintly coming up here. When I was rinsing my brush, I flicked out the water and it flicked all over the page. Not a drama, just an annoyance. What I might do is I might do a very light wash of the phthalo blue in that section there. So that would be a lot of water. And hopefully that will tie in just with that circle motif, just give a bit more balance to the whole thing. But I'm making it very watered down. I'm still using the small brush. Just in between all these shapes I feel like I've got a lot more control. So like I mentioned earlier, now this paper, yeah, because this paper is 1, not 100% cotton, 2, it's been sitting in my drawer for I don't even know how long. 3, I got it on sale. It doesn't absorb or react to the watercolor the way 100% cotton, my normal good paper, does. It's kind of like soaking it in, and it's not allowing me to blend or spread it around very much. And watercolor, you can do that. You can use it like acrylics, you can spread it around and things like that, but it's the surface that you paint on that allows you to do that. And that's something to keep in mind with watercolor paper. It does have a shelf life. It's because of what's attached to it. It's a thing called sizing. That's what helps to, I think it's like a gum, the sizing. It's what helps to create like a surface that absorbs both color and the moisture of the paint. And if that sizing goes off or expires or something like that, then you don't have a predictable surface to work on. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm glad I've kept it all blue, to be honest. Now I'm keeping some of the super detailed work white, and I did that in the other design as well. 1, because it's so small, so it's kind of hard to see. And 2, the power of having white in your paintings is a little bit underrated, because you're able to keep a lot of contrast when you keep the white in there. So I'm glad I kept the circle, and I'm glad I kept it blue. That worked well. I might go over these ones down here a little bit, but it's just an idea that you can get very different results for the same design depending on the colors that you choose. Here we go. There's the blue and there is the colorful one, and they look so different. You can definitely customize it to however you like. And it looks rather lovely. So I like that. I think that's pretty nice. So what I will do now is I'll grab up some of these blocks ready to be used. Often get asked, you know, what tape I use. All the links are in the description, all my materials. If you are creative yourself and you want to try out some of those materials, it's all there. Looks rather lovely. I'm going to make something super simple today. And I'll stick with the blue. I'm just going to use the flat brush. Not really in the mood to try and think it out today. I just want to be a bit intuitive with it all. I'm just going to do this one super quickly. I'm not even going to spend time. I feel like I don't want to spend time on it. Let's see how it goes. Just depends on how the block is reacting to with the water. There's not many things I love more than a misty lake surrounded by a forest. I think it's just very, very lovely. So just trying to use the water as much as possible. So that's it for that one. I didn't want to do anything more than that. It's got a little bit of sparkle on it. I'll show you a close-up and we'll see you next time. Bye.